Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Vegas Top Dogs YouTube channel. I'm Tony K. Right over there we have Sniper Wes. We're going to give you four free picks for college football Saturday. Before we jump right in with our selections, just a reminder, be sure to visit VegasTopDogs.com for more free picks on my page, Sniper Wes's page, and some of the other expert handicappers. Check it out along with their premium plays, articles, sportsbook bonuses, and more. VegasTopDogs.com. Also, give us a thumbs up and a like down below. You could also subscribe to this video. You'll be notified each and every time a new video comes out. Can't believe it's already week 2 in college football. NFL starting this week. We have a game Thursday, Friday, full slate Sunday, and then Monday Night Football. So it's going to be a huge, huge week of college and NFL action. Well, let's jump right in. First game I'm going to look at goes Saturday night at 7 p.m. Army visits Kansas State. Army's off a disappointing loss last week. Boy, lost to Tarleton State. They're a big favorite. They fell apart in that game. 3 turnovers cost them the game. Kansas State, this is already their 3rd game of the season. Remember, they lost in week 0 to Iowa State by 3 points, and they bounced back with a win last week. So I think the odds makers overreacted on this with Army going down. I mean, Army had 12 wins last year, if you remember. Their only 2 losses were Navy and Notre Dame. So this is a good team. They're going to control the ball, control the tempo. They're very disciplined. They don't get penalties. So they don't have turnovers, and it's rare that they have, back-to-back games with 3 or more turnovers. They go for it a lot on 4th downs, extend the drive. I think this is way too many points here in this one. I like Army plus the 17 points in this one. I think it's a little too steep. I'm looking for maybe a 34-20 type of game, 31-20. We'll take the points with Army. Wes, what do you got?
Well, I'm going to jump over to the SEC here. It's actually Big 12 and SEC, so Kansas and Missouri here. So the Jayhawks, they're getting healthier. They actually have some guys back on their D-line and secondary. They did not play in the first game, but they come in here at 2-0. Granted, they played Fresno State and Wagner, so that's not an impressive 2-0. But Missouri, they've won 7 straight games at home here in Memorial Stadium, and they're 17-1 straight up their last 18 games in this building. But they are only 8-2 against the spread. So they do win at home, and they win often at home. It's hard to beat them, but they tend not to cover the number, right? And I kind of feel like, Kansas, if you're catching 6.5 here with them, it's kind of just the perfect spot for Missouri to win this game by a field goal, in my opinion. So Kansas, they run the ball. That's basically their MO with Lance Leopold, right? They run at least so far this season, 64% of the time rush rate. They love running the ball. Daniel Highshaw, Johnny Thompson, both very good running backs. Missouri needs to stop the run. That is kind of their only chance to slow down Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels has a 2.12 QBR so far, and granted, that's against 2 scrubs. I get it. But if you don't stop the running game and you let Jalen Daniels start, play action and things like that, man, he's going to pick you apart. I'm telling you, even though you're an SEC team, I'm telling you, you don't want to do that to this guy. You got to stop the run and make them one-dimensional. That's how you're going to win this game and pull away and cover the spread. Well, I don't think they're going to do it. Bo Pribula, he's the quarterback from Missouri. He looked great for Central Arkansas, but once again, that's a scrub, right? You can't look into that too deeply. It's an FCS school. And as I said before, Kansas, they get their defensive line, some guys on the defensive line back. They have some guys in the secondary back. They have a really good secondary. Marquise Johnson, he's a really good wide receiver for Missouri, so they do need to keep him in check. But I think that, DK McDonald, the defensive coordinator for Kansas, and Lance Leopold, I think they're going to have a good game plan. I think they hang tough. Give me Kansas plus 6.5 here over Missouri.
All right, sounds good. I know last week we saw a lot of underdogs come in. So far in this video, we like 2 underdogs. Will it continue? We have college football game number 3 here for you. I'm going to break down and take a look at what time is this game? 7:30 p.m. Eastern, Saturday night. Number 15, Michigan visits Oklahoma. Oklahoma is currently ranked number 18. Both teams off a win last week, but I think Michigan struggled a little bit with the New Mexico team that I have at the bottom of my power ratings. I just don't see much out of New Mexico this year. And Michigan struggled with them. It was 34-17. Yeah, they won by 17, but I expected like a 52 to 52-10 type of blowout. It was very close. I think freshman quarterback for Michigan now goes on the road, playing in a tough environment at night. He's a true freshman, Underwood. So Michigan linebacker may also be out. Targeting call, I haven't heard the ruling on that because he appealed it, but most likely he's going to be out for the first half. He's one of their best defensive players. So Oklahoma tough at home. Yeah, they have a transfer quarterback, but he played at Oklahoma, Washington State. He's a seasoned veteran. I expect him to do well with a lot of weapons on the offensive side of the ball. Oklahoma dominated last week, 500 yards compared to Illinois State's only 150. So I think Oklahoma's going to beat them through the air. We're going to lay the points here in this one, currently at 5.5. So I think Oklahoma runs away with this one. It's a Saturday night. Complimentary play for you. Oklahoma, I have them winning by double digits.
Yeah, so I'm going to roll here, Tony. I'm going to actually take Ole Miss. So it sounds like we're on the favorite train here, right? So Ole Miss. So, yeah, we got Ole Miss and Kentucky here. So Ole Miss, remember, they lost to Kentucky last year. They were actually a 17.5-point favorite. It was their only loss at home, but they have a ton of revenge here. You know, Lane Kiffin, he even said that game haunted them all off season, right? So it wasn't a good look for them to lose that kind of game. And rest assured, they will be up here to face, Kentucky because they need this win, right? The Rebels, they did turn the ball over twice versus Georgia State last week, and Lane Kiffin, he said their tackling could use improvement. Austin Simmons, he's the new quarterback here at Ole Miss. The Jackson Dart era ends with Austin Simmons coming in. He's got a lot of confidence, a lot of talent. He was 20 of 31 for 341 yards versus the Panthers. Obviously, the Georgia State Panthers are not, an SEC team. I get that. But Kentucky, they beat Toledo 24-16 last week. Zach Calzada, he completed 10 of 23 passes for 85 yards. So that's not very impressive. Versus Toledo, too, you would think you would have a better showing than that. Dante Dowdle, he ran for 129 yards of the Wildcats, 305 yards. So they only had 305 yards versus Toledo. That's just really not a good look. But Kentucky does want to run the ball. I get that. I don't think Ole Miss is going to let them do that. And Ole Miss, they reloaded on defense, too. Their defense is very strong. They will be good on that side of the ball. With all the revenge from last year and, Kentucky struggling versus Toledo, I think they're going to really struggle here versus Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss minus the 10 in Lexington over the Kentucky Wildcats.
Yeah, I'm sure they had this game circled on their calendar after that loss last season.
Sure. Definitely.
All right, any picks loaded on the website yet?
Yeah, in fact, I loaded all my Canadian football plays already, believe it or not, because I am absolutely crushing the CFL. I'm 9-0 in my last 9 Canadian Football League plays. It doesn't get any better than that, right? Granted, I wish.
Absolutely. I always tell people whether you like, the sport, UFC, Canadian Football League, tennis, golf, if somebody's picking winners, I'll gladly take their picks.
Yeah, 100%. And we have UFC this weekend and obviously the NFL. Most people call December 25th Christmas, but we call it NFL Week 1, right? So it's just a good time of year. We still have WNBA and baseball going as well. So all kinds of ways to make money. And you can find me over at VegasTopDogs, and all my selections are over there. And looking forward to this weekend. And once again, thank you for having me on, Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for joining us, guys. Check it out. Give us a like, subscribe, thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again soon.